After the shooting in Nashville today, Nicole Hockley said this online. She said, quote, "We have the solutions, yet we mostly don't use them. Why? Because too many people love guns more than children and fight against solid measures, praying for the families, pissed off at cowards and profiteers." Joining us now is Nicole Hockley. She's co-founder and CEO of Sandy Hook Promise. Ms. Hockley, it is nice to see you. I'm sorry that it's under terrible circumstances. Thank you for taking time to be with us tonight.
Thank you, Rachel. It's always good to speak to you, but always under awful situations.
Yeah. Let me ask you to expound a little bit on what you said today in the immediate aftermath of this news. You said we have solutions. We mostly don't use them. You said you were, praying for these families, but you said you're angry. You said you're pissed off at the cowards and profiteers. What did you mean by that?
Exactly that. I am so heartbroken and continue to be heartbroken every single day. There have been so many incidences of gun violence, so many incidents of school shootings. My heart just can't take it anymore. And now I'm just really pissed off. There are too many people that just want to debate about this and want to talk about why we shouldn't talk about it now, or that now isn't the time, or that we need to protect gun owners first. And I honestly think that the majority of gun owners want to see these solutions too. They probably purchase their guns to protect their families. They don't want gun violence. They don't want school shootings, and neither does anyone else. So why don't we take the solutions that are on the plate right now, such as safe storage, such as background checks, such as magazine limits, or even assault weapons bans, and do something about it rather than this constant, endless cycle of conversation that actually doesn't go anywhere when we know these solutions work and we know it's what people want.
Those practical measures that you just described, I'm thinking particularly of the first three before the assault weapons ban, safe storage, background checks, magazine limits. The public opinion polling on that shows that not only do Americans want those things and support those kinds of practical solutions in overwhelming numbers, most gun owners do too. And that's been true for a long time. And so I guess I'm wondering, as somebody who's been working on this, again, in very practical ways, do you see any distance closing between the views of Americans, including gun owners, and the advocacy groups and the politicians who won't allow for practical solutions like those?
I think the distance is closing, and we saw a big gap in that decrease last year with the passage of the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, where we saw that Congress could come together from both sides and agree on a set of common sense legislation that would prevent violence, and in particular gun violence. However, it's not enough. We know there's still much more we need to do. My organization continues to focus on teaching the signs. How do you recognize someone who is going into crisis or who is in danger of hurting themselves or someone else and taking action? But we also need the legislation to support and enforce that. And I still think there are far too many politicians in particular that are focused on their careers more than about being on the right side of history and doing the right things by kids. That needs to change. And also there is still a gun industry that is more focused on profits and measures. We still hear them talk about more people need guns. That's the way to prevent bad people with guns. That's the way to prevent criminals. Not every shooter is a criminal. They don't start that way. They start as a normal person, and through a series of circumstances, it escalates into violence. The difference is they have access to firearms. So if we are better about how we ensure, is someone capable of having a firearm? Are they mentally able to have that firearm? Are they in crisis or not? And stop thinking about money. Stop thinking about careers. Think about your children. How do you want their school experience to be? Do you want them to come home every single day? If you don't care, then continue on the path you are. If you care at all, then you need to do something about it.
Nicole Hockley, the co-founder and CEO of Sandy Hook Promise, who knows of what she speaks. Thank you so much for taking time to be here tonight, Nicole. It is always good to see you. I swear you'll be back here in happier times soon.
Thank you, Rachel.